Dial it in.
I brought a shitload of glasses, but
I don't think we need
all those glasses.
No, I think it's pretty tame today.
Yeah.
No conflicting flavors.
This is what I'm talking about. Earlier today, I did a podcast this morning, and I was talking about the variety. Nobody has what we have in this county.
No one, definitely no.
Well, because we know where this shit's coming from. You know, we have 2 distributors that are fucking doing all the good things just for us. So nobody's got these beers.
Nope. Some of them, you know, like that. There was 2 cases. Right, well, no, this was 2 cases to the whole region, and we got them. So that's your boy. This one, hopefully, you see a lot more of. I've been describing it as like an East Coast PBR, but
that makes a lot
Grumpy
of sense.
Dave swears up and down it tastes just like the Grump. So Grump at Third Life, the Grump the man and the Grump the beer.
Does Dave watch this?
I don't know. I doubt it.
Yeah,
just
Dave's
drag him under the bus.
Just freaking, you know. Because how many times have we said you should really try this or this because it's super good, and he's like,
he stares at it for 5 minutes and then
flares up my gout.
Got to go with the hams. I was arguing with him that he thinks hams is elevated above Stroh's. And I was like, look, I like them both, but you cannot tell me that Hams has something special that Stroh's doesn't. They're different beers. I'm totally fine if you like one over the other, but Hams is not an elevated beer. I do love it.
No, negative.
So today,
negative.
We've got Transient's Troubadour 12, which is a Czech-style Pilsner made with Troubadour Pevi malt. That Narragansett. No one can really pronounce it. It is a really old beer out of the East Coast, Rhode Island. So, like I said, I've been describing it as like East Coast PBR.
Pop culture, though.
Yep.
This beer was in the original Jaws movie. And the old fisherman guy, who was kind of a pain in the ass to everybody, who got ripped apart by the shark, drinks this in the entire movie.
So he crushes the can, yeah. So we got all the branding. It says, honor the man, crush the can. Yeah. So they've kind of gone on with that. Or maybe that's just a branding for their big push this way. I love it. I mean, they get the big high neighbor on there. Yeah. Have a Gansett. That's pretty great. I really like it. It gives me like very old school Milwaukee vibes.
Yep, I dig it.
Lagunitas has got Born Yesterday. It's a fresh hop ale, 7.2%. This is a farm to brewery within 24 hours. They harvest the hops. They're in the brewery within 24 hours. I'm pretty excited. That's probably what I'm most excited for. I'm excited for all of them. But it's 7.2% ale. It's not an IPA or anything, so I'm really curious how that's going to taste. I threw these 2 in. Off Color Brewing, beer for huddles and scurry. I love Off Color stuff. They're always kind of doing something a little weird, but not so weird that it turns people off. The beer for tacos is huge for like a sour, even for people who aren't huge fans of that style.
Well, I mean, I like what you said before we started rolling. You're like, I really want people to start drinking, Off Color, because their beer is great. I think sometimes it's the cans.
Yep, it's a little because you kind of have to turn it to see the whole picture. And
what am I getting? What is this beer?
Yeah, so. We've got their beer for bags right now too, which is a malt liquor, which is
fun.
Actually, honestly, very very nice.
Yeah.
So the beer for huddles is an amber ale. Scurry is their dark honey ale, and we've got Speciation, Underbru. We drink a lot of Underbergs, which this is kind of a riff on. Underbergs are like a digestive from Germany.
We've had people come in here and go, Jesus Christ, that's a lot of Underberg. I'm like, no,
I got a big tummy ache. I need a big one. This is a sour. I've talked to some people who have tried it who love Underberg. It's not super powerful Underberg flavor. It's sour with a little bit of that aftertaste. But if you've ever had Speciation sours, they're all fairly, I don't want to say tame because they're not, but compared to like the fruited sours, things like that, it's not.
I don't think they're overpowering sour. They're not big on like fruit bombs. They're definitely more farmhouse style sours.
Old school, classical style sours with definitely more subtle flavors. So let's get started with some Troubadour 12. Now I don't want to spoil it for you, but I did have one of these last night. I didn't realize we were doing it today, so.
Cheers.
I won't sully your view on it. I'll wait to hear from you.
I get Pilsner Urquell vibes right off the nose.
Yeah. Pilsner Urquell is Czech Republic, I think, right?
It's a Czech.
So
Czech
obviously
Pilsner.
Czech style
This-
ale. They're getting right in there. I think it's a little like maltier than a
It
Pilsner
is.
Urquell.
There you go. A little
and
maltier.
it really
for sure.
smooths it out. I think some of those imports, they get like that skunky taste to it because they're so light.
And this beer hasn't spent 6 months in a fucking container coming across the.
This
ocean.
is amazing, and we already have sold so much of it. I was really afraid we'd sell out before I got to try it, but this is
That's good beer.
a fantastic lighter beer.
Yep.
If you're into European styles, you got to try this because I think if
Yeah,
you
for sure.
put it in a lineup, you wouldn't be able to pick it out as an American.
No, I definitely. You try this beer, and it tastes exactly like a European style Pilsner.
This is what I wish you could get 30 packs of. That would be fantastic.
That's good beer. I'll drink that. Hot day.
Yeah. We've had quite a few of their lager pilsners from Transient, and they're all good, but this might be the best one that I'd have to go back and taste the Hunted again. That was really good, but that was super light. This one is just got a bit more character, right?
Definitely. It's not skunky. Because like when I smell it, and I'm like, all right, it smells like Pilsner Urquell, but it doesn't have that like that European skunk.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Oh man,
delightful.
So this is one. It's just a light beer, but I could sit and just enjoy this slowly.
Yeah, that malt, this whatever.
Troubadour.
Yeah. It definitely shows through.
Oh yeah, thank you,
Transient
Jason
is-
at M4 for that one,
I mean,
and Transient,
on.
obviously, but I suppose it's 4.5%. Yeah,
perfect little
Just-
all-dayer. Like just sipping on beer all day. Like this, though, like I don't know what the ABV is on this.
I can't imagine it's high. I can look it up really quick.
I wonder if it's pronounced Narragansett. Did the salesperson tell you how to pronounce
They don't know how to say it.
No, they don't know how to say it.
I just asking Pete. He goes, I don't know. I just kind of go with it.
And his salesperson, but it's blowing up. Everybody's buying it. They're stacking it high. How many 30-packs do you want?
Yeah, this is great. You can get this in a 30-pack. I would buy a 30-pack of this.
Well, like I said, I bought a 12. Well, yeah. I took a 12-pack yesterday and drank 6 of them very quickly.
You know what's nice is it is a 5% as opposed to like
Is
a
it?
4%
I
of
thought it
like,
was
you know,
gonna be
your
like a
Bud
3.2.
Millers, Coors, that sort of stuff. Excuse me.
I'll give you a little extra. Yeah, good stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I said, I had a bunch of this last night. I know you've tried it, but we might.
I've only had it once, though, so I'm looking forward to trying it again.
To me, it's got that old school lager smell to it, like a
Yeah.
Stroh's or a Hamm's or
Yeah. Maybe a Bud Heavy
maybe a Bud Heavy.
or a Miller High Life. I think it fits perfectly into that. It's not a light beer. It's not a heavy beer.
It's not as flavorful as Champagne Velvet.
No.
I think it's a little more timid than that. But this is definitely. I mean, I tell you what. When I first cracked it yesterday, I was delighted at how easy drinking this is. This is a VFW Elks.
Yeah.
Moose Lodge. They need to carry this.
Yeah. They should. I might have to talk to those guys.
$2.50
Come
a
on.
beer.
Give me a Gansett. Yeah, I was really worried about trying this after the Troubadour because I thought for sure this would taste pretty bad next to Troubadour, and it really doesn't.
I like it.
I think this is definitely elevated above this, but if I had to, you know, if I had one of these and had to drink some of these afterward, I would not be upset.
We just got to get people to try this beer.
Yeah.
Because they're going to look at the packaging and they're not going to know what it is. And, you know, even though it says lager on it, but this is a perfect beer for somebody who's trying to.
When they walk in, they go, "Do you have any like normal beer?" This is a normal beer.
This is a normal beer. Exactly. That's a good way to put it.
Where's all the Busch Light? Have a Gansett instead.
Have a Gansett. Hey, neighbor. Have a Gansett.
Oh man, that is good. Kind of creamy on the finish too. Just nice and smooth.
Is this filtered or unfiltered?
Doesn't look like it's filtered, does it? Doesn't say anything about it.
All right, those of you listening, we're going to get into the Born Yesterday.
Born Yesterday by Lagunitas. It's a fresh hop ale, farm to brewery in 24 hours. Here, let me pour this and then I can read it.
So I wonder if this would be like an enjoy by type situation.
Yeah, maybe. Whoa, I can smell it.
Yeah.
Holy cow.
It hit you right in the freaking nostrils.
If we could bottle the smell of harvest time in Yakima
Yeah.
Valley, Washington, which right off the bat, it just smells like you're in a brewery and they just threw in some wet hops. We would. Hell, we try every year. Today we get the next best thing. Born Yesterday. See once hops are harvested, the flavor clock starts ticking. So we rush a select bunch of whole cone wet hops on refrigerated trucks straight to Lagunitas. In less than 24 hours, they arrive and immediately drop into the brew via a stupid custom-built contraption, injecting all their precious aromatics. Special delivery indeed. Congrats. It's a beer. The smell is wild.
The smell is wild.
It is like bright. I don't want to say orange, but it smells just like wet hops. If you've ever like grabbed a hop and like rubbed it in your hands and smelled it, that's the exact smell. This is crazy.
Yeah, there's some really good citrus notes in it.
Oh my god.
Did you try it?
Yeah. That's
I feel like whenever we do this shit, I'm like a little kid in the candy store.
I know.
Beers
This
and
one
trying
is
it.
I don't get surprised very often anymore. You know, I think we can usually know what it's going to taste like before. I've never had anything that tasted like this other than an IPA. But this isn't an IPA. It doesn't have that bitterness. It's just like stupid floral.
And you know, it's perfect at 7.2%. You know, when you get into like Enjoy Buys from Stone and they're like 10, 11%.
Yeah.
It really kind of takes away the flavor of the beer.
A little bit.
Slightly.
This is like rich too. It's I don't want to say thick, but it's got a body
I get the
on
richness
it.
that you're
Holy
saying.
cow.
Yeah, there's a silkiness to it that's. And, you know, you can't feel. Don't get upset with yourself if you have more than one. Man, this is delightful. Only 2 cases.
Only 2 cases.
And we took a 6-pack for ourselves. So there's only 7 6-packs left in existence here in Michigan, and we have them.
Well, our region.
Well, our region. Which is probably fucking like
Manistee and
Necoma.
Bear Lake. Yeah. But we got it.
We got them. It could very well be for this small northern territory if you got allocated a couple of cases. And
But if we only got 2 cases, I think it's probably pretty limited everywhere. You know, with them doing it's probably a smaller batch. Right?
Oh, definitely
because
a smaller batch for sure. So it's
specialty
exciting that we got
brewing.
some. That's really good. If you're watching, if you made it this far in the podcast, you got to come down here and get some of this Lagunitas. Very good.
If you like
Very
the
good.
floral hoppy smell and flavor, but don't want that bitter IPA, that's good. So we are getting into Off Color, Beer for Huddles. I really like all their names. Like Beer for Tacos, Beer for Huddles, Beer for Beaches was a good one. Beer for Ball Games was awesome.
You're like, I was trying to think about, like, you got that was it Honey Brown the other day?
Yeah, the Genesee.
So I knew I was going to forget. When you sent me that picture, I was taken back a little bit because we had a brand when I was selling beer for Lakeshore Beverage like 20 years ago, and it was, you know, they had a Honey Brown and beer similar to that. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Newcastle?
No, it wasn't Newcastle. I mean, it was kind of like an up and coming brewery that faded away. But the story that I have is when I was underage, like 16 or 17, and I was working in the warehouse there, loading trucks or whatever. We had about a half a pallet of this beer brand, and some of it was this Honey Brown shit. And the owner of the company just left it outside. So like June and July, it sat outside, and as summer progressed, you know, it's getting warmer outside. You know, you feel where I'm going. Anyways, he ended up saying to a buddy of mine who was of age, that also worked in the warehouse. He said, "You guys want any of that shit? Take it." So we took a half a pallet to his house, and we drank like boiled hot Honey Brown ales all summer long, dude. They were so bad. So This one is the honey. Not this one.
This is the dark honey ale.
dark honey.
This is an amber.
So when we get to the honey ale, I guess it would have been a more appropriate story, but it just
That's
popped in
all right.
my head. So again, I'm sorry. What's this one
This
again?
is Off Color Brewing, beer for huddles. It's an amber ale. It's 5.2%. It is Victory Pale Ale Munich, caramel and roasted barley malts.
That's what I get.
With
That roasted barley.
Super Sazer hops. Secret technique, unsportsmanlike conduct. They've got just nice little jokes on these. There's something in there. I was wondering if you'd pick that up.
I don't think this is what it is, but it's close to it. Made like a burnt toffee.
Yeah. I'm getting a lot of like Hefeweizen, like that banana, which is weird for an
That's
amber.
what I smelled at the front.
That's not
Something
usually
like that.
what I want. I mean, you got like sweet amber ales, kind of like Fat Tire, smoky amber ales, hoppy amber ales like Bell's. This is like a Hefe style amber, which is I think is super good.
When you said this, the roasted barley is really pushing
That's
off
probably
that smoke vibe.
I'm really, really critical of ambers just because
Yeah.
I find them to be too sweet sometimes. This is like really nice.
It's
This
not
is the
sw-
first
yeah, it's not overly
different
sweet.
amber ale
Yeah.
style I've had in a long time. And I hope they start coming back. I think when I was in college, 2010 to 2014, ambers were still really big and you could see them everywhere. And there was big variety. Now it's like there's so few and too many of them taste the same.
Yeah,
This is a lot of fun.
There was a big turnover in that 14, 15, 16 to start pushing heavy for IPAs. And then
I think there was that split.
fucking New England style.
Yeah, you went IPAs. Some people went IPAs, and some people went darker.
Yeah.
And the ambers got left in the middle. That's really good.
You're right. Ambers are almost a forgotten. Every brewery will make a stout.
Browns are
They'll
starting
make
to.
yeah,
I
they'll
never
make a
really went
porter.
away, but are also having a little bit of a comeback.
Yeah. I'm good with Hefeweizens. We don't ever have to drink that shit. I was telling, it was Becky the other day. She's like, yeah, somebody came in and asked for a Hefeweizen. I'm like, well, we got a couple, but it's always, to me, it's that person that's like, you're a little bit intimidated with the craft beer selection, and you've had a Hefeweizen before, and for whatever reason you liked it, so that's like your go-to.
But they only want the one they've had.
Yeah.
I'm not huge on the style. Someone told me like it's like farming beer. You're meant to have it at lunch if you're working out in the field all day. It's supposed to be super crisp and refreshing. That turned me on to like, oh, I get it now. I don't love the taste, but I understand why it tastes like that, and I've kind of grown an appreciation for it. I don't know where I was going with that. Anyway,
I get it.
I like it. I like to taste them all, and I don't think there's like a superior Hefeweizen, but
No.
there are those hardcore people looking for them. So this gives you another option, I guess. A little darker Hefe. So this is Scurry. This is a dark honey ale. I have no idea what this is going to be like.
I'm gonna
Does say
reserve
dry.
judgment.
Which is
I
surprising.
might
to me.
throw up thinking of my past experiences drinking piss warm honey brown, but
Looks great.
the more we go, the worse I get at pouring.
So it's a Pils,
Very
dark
similar
Munich,
already.
wheat, and chocolate malt. Hops are Northern Brewer, Herbsbrucker, and Strisselspalt. And the secret ingredients are honey, molasses, and flaked oats. So I have a feeling that this is going to have a little bit too much of the
It's gonna be a heavier
sweetness
it's
for
gonna
me.
Be a heavier beer.
But it does say dry, which is interesting. I don't think you're going to hate it.
I mean,
I think you might like it. Oh, damn. That might be my favorite off color that I've had, period. And I love the beer for ball games. It was super easy cream ale to drink. This is like, it's perfect, isn't it?
good beer.
I love that it's dry.
One of
'cause
these
I think
days
that
we're gonna have a
offsets the
beer.
honey.
They're gonna start getting every beer they drink. They love.
We can do an episode where we just trash some
we
beers
can
that I
just talk
hate.
A bunch of shit.
I try to vet them. I don't want to drink bad beer.
Yeah, this is really good. This wouldn't be a beer that I would look at on a beer menu at a brewery and go, I think I'll try that one. But
can you imagine this on tap, though?
Step out a little bit.
This
is
would be
good.
incredible.
Yeah, this is really good. This is really good.
And it's not super heavy. I guess they're just calling it dark because it's darker than, like, usually honey ales are quite light.
Yeah, this is...
It's more like an amber in color.
Oh, very much so. A light brown.
I'll be taking some of these home.
Whoa. Off color, hitting the spots, dude.
I'm pretty excited about that one.
Mm-hmm. Shocking. This might shock. Because I know that the Underbru is not going to be my favorite beer. But I love Speciation. Shout out to Speciation. I freaking love what you guys are doing. I thought for sure, and this was fantastic, I thought for sure that the Born Yesterday was going to be my favorite. Shocking that the Scurry is my favorite so far.
Really?
Because I really thought that this honey was going to be like... I like it a lot. That's my favorite beer out of the bunch.
You've been in the industry longer than I have. Usually when you see honey on a beer, it's a red flag, right?
I'm not ordering it.
It's going to probably be bad. For one reason or another, they just don't seem to turn out. They're probably better on tap. But yeah, that was really, really nice. I'm trying to figure out if I need to...
Also, love the freaking packaging.
Yeah,
dude.
It's beautiful, isn't it? Even when you take the bag off.
Yeah.
Nice wax on the top, little maker's mark. I was hoping I didn't... There we go.
I don't want to know yet. I don't even want to know yet.
Whew! Damn it. It smells like a speciation. I don't know what you expected.
So I do smell Underberg, but it's not...
Very faint.
It's nowhere near, yeah.
We were hoping for an Underberg flavored beer.
Yeah, when I saw like
I think it's it's a sour with an Underberg background.
By the way, have you been following Eclipse on Tap?
I haven't. That's their podcast, right?
Super dupe. Super dupe. Space Beer Podcast. All the things that I love.
Yeah.
I'm scared to try it, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I think you'll like it. It's not as sour as it smells. It's got that...
So
it's very similar to the style that I don't like of sours, where it's only sour and I don't get any flavor. Some people love it, but it's just sour.
That's speciation, dude.
I know it is.
You know, 100%.
But I've had more of theirs lately, and this one especially. I think what do you call them? The herbs in an Underberg.
I like
it really settles it down. So you get that big sour hit, but you also get like the rich Underberg flavors. They're there. It's just. They're very subtle. Yeah.
This is good. I'm going to have a little more. This,
We've sold a lot already. I think we've maybe got 10 bottles left. We got 2 cases.
This is very good.
Yeah.
Yeah. I get the ginger, obviously citrus,
I think that helps
ginger.
A lot,
the ginger does help quite a bit. Like Underbru is an oak-aged ale meant to be sipped or taken all at once, kind of like Underberg. Yeah. I don't know if you could just slam this all at once,
I
but
could not do that.
If you're feeling wild, taken all at once, if you're feeling wild, brew with bittering herbs, citrus, hops, and ginger, in just the right amounts. And I would agree with that. This beer seems really well balanced.
Very, very well balanced.
Yeah, pairs well with the good life in Underberg. Naturally delicious. So I was skeptical and nervous
kill
to
this
drink
bottle.
this. Yes.
And I was not expecting, I know how their stuff is sometimes just sour.
Yeah.
For me, I don't pick up on a lot of this stuff. People who love sours, I don't think it gets much better than a Speciation.
No.
Because they are like so precise on what they're doing. And
there are breweries out there like Speciation that specialize in sours, but I have yet to have a beer from another brewery that's better than a Speciation ale. 100%. This is, like I said, I was really fucking nervous. I like Underberg for what it does, for how it helps when you're a little gassy. I like how they balance this beer. Yeah. It's phenomenal.
The ginger is very helpful.
Yeah.
You get big sour citrus, but the bittering stuff is what do they call it? The bittering. bittering herbs. And I wonder if you put an Underberg in a glass with it, how that would taste. I think that would be...
Stay tuned, folks.
All right, well, I'll top us off. Can't imagine you're going to want a little bit. So easily suggestible, that guy. Well, this is dead air. I blame James. But yeah, this has probably been the strongest lineup we've had. We've usually do podcasts where there's a couple really good ones, some real weird ones. This has been the most consistent batch of beer that we've ever had on a podcast, I think. So this is what an Underberg looks like. It's how much is it? It's 0.67 fluid ounces, so it's not a lot.
Yeah, but it packs a hell of a
It does.
alcohol punch. What do we got in here? It is 88 proof.
Yeah. I always tell people, because the cap is so small, I don't want to drink out of here. It just makes you fight for it. Pour it out into a shot glass or something. I'm not huge on trying to suck it out of there.
Or pour it into your Underbru.
Yeah. You can imagine how painful that is to try and drink it out of the bottle.
Sounds like when I pee.
Oh my God. Whoa, that's like very powerful, like licorice.
Let's go. Better or worse?
Whoa! Weird. Very weird. Maybe one Underberg to an entire bottle of Underbru. We may have overdone it with the probably a third of the glass, or third of the bottle. It's a very, very strong Underberg.
Yeah, it's possible that we ruined the beer.
Possibly.
But nevertheless, the Underbru was awesome.
And this, I mean, you do it this way, it settles your stomach while you're drinking. Maybe a little overpowering, and all I can taste is Underberg, but, you know.
A little bit of an issue.
Hey, cheers. If you had to go with one beer to take home, what would it be today?
Oh, well, like I said, this was my favorite out of the group, the Scurry.
The dark honey ale.
So to be fair, because it's my favorite, I would take it home. But in full disclosure of the style that I like, the Born Yesterday would be the 6-pack that I would probably buy today.
So you just took both of mine. Great. That's awesome.
But there isn't a beer in this category today that I would not take home. I love them all. This, I think,
the Underbru
is a fantastic beer to take a couple of them and share them with your friends.
Yeah. That's not one I'd want to drink the whole thing, but I would split it 50-50 with someone.
For sure.
60-40, I'd take the 60, whatever.
Yeah.
That Troubadour, I think, got left behind because it was first. But
yeah, that's good beer.
That's an awesome beer. That's like I said, that's one that just like, if I could buy 30 packs of that, just that's all I would drink. I'd be the old guy on the porch drinking one beer for the rest of my life.
Yeah. So if you like European-style Pilsners, lagers, anything like that, hit this beer up. If you want, can I get a normal beer? Try something different. Narragansett, however the fuck you pronounce it. If you like a nice hop build, good flavor, freshness, this is definitely the way to go. I'm not 100% remembering that one, but
the Heffy style.
Oh, the Heffy style. Yep. That's my least favorite. But the Scurry was phenomenal. Shocking to me because it wouldn't.
I know that must mean it's like so good. I don't know if you're watching. I've heard the story more than once. He's not joking that he does not want anything to do with honey ales. No. That should tell you how good that one is.
And if you're a sour beer fan, well, anything from Speciation, but you should try the Underbru.
Yeah, if you don't know Speciation, it's worth trying their stuff at least once. This is a great opportunity to try it because it is balanced out by the bittering herbs they use.
And I would say that the mixing of the Underbru.
You finished it.
Yeah.
All right. Groovy. Another one in the books.
Good work, son. Good work.